welcome to another episode of the Eventual Knits podcast. My name is Malia. I am known as Miss_LJV on Instagram and as Eventual on Ravelry. Today is Thursday. Literally December, October, and September all ran through my head, or maybe August. Oh my god. What I mean to say is several months flashed through my brain at once. April 30th, 2020. It has been more than a month since my last actual podcast. I do like that the second I started podcasting there was an airplane. I was really excited to podcast outside because it is like a super nice day out in Minnesota. It's like the upper 60s. I had to walk around my house like 8 different times trying to find us a good spot to podcast because we have a decent yard and good lighting and whatnot, but the trees, I mean, it's April, so the trees don't have their leaves yet, and we sort of live like in a valley in our neighborhood. So like we live in a cul-de-sac, and then there's like a hill up to the next street with several houses that just go in a straight block. And so right now, none of the trees have their leaves, and therefore, one, we are in visual view of everybody on that next block, and two, the trees act as little sound dampeners. And there's a family out on their deck, and even though they are right next to each other, apparently in order to speak they need to shout. And so you'll probably be picking them up. There also is a neighbor a little bit down the street who is using a saw, but that noise is not, so honestly the noise is not nearly as bad as the talking. And then on my neighbor next door, his dog is outside, and his dog is really cute. It's sweet. He's a Rottweiler, and like he really wants attention. Like he wants you to pet him, and so he barks and whimpers and like wags his little big fat body tail, his butt, because he doesn't have a real tail, and of course people don't want their dogs to bark, so then they are like, hey, don't do that. And it's like, I know he's just barking because he can see me and I'm not petting him. It's fine. I'm just by the front of my house now. So that's been my adventures in trying to set up to podcast today. And then also, I'm sorry you can't really see my eyes and face because I have transitions glasses, and while they are great for my eyes, I know that they can get really dark on my face. So, yeah, I guess that's all of my podcasting situation updates. I hope that my phone is picking me up appropriately. But yeah, so it has been a month since my last podcast. I did put up like an unboxing or like an unbagging video in the meantime, just to try to like keep putting a little bit of content out there and making sure people didn't think that I forgot about the podcast or I wasn't doing it anymore. It's just I think my last podcast was uploaded on like the 15th of March. So like people probably are like, oh yeah, because of COVID, we got really busy and all this work from home and shelter in place stuff. But I'm gonna interrupt myself here to say that I am doing my podcast a bit out of order. I think I usually sort of talk about my life stuff at the end, but I really kind of felt like it would be weird to wait and like to get through my whole podcast and then talk about this at the end, when it's such like a really big important life thing. So I'm talking about it now. I feel like all my podcast listeners would want to know this about me and my life right now. On March 21st, we found out that my brother Joe died. So I have 6 brothers and sisters. I am the 3rd oldest, and I'm really close with all of my siblings. We are really supportive, and we're all adults and we have busy lives, but we try to like carve out time to spend time together every year if nothing else, 4 of us have birthdays in November, and so we always try to like make a big to-do, do something fun. This year we went to a barcade. Yeah, it's cool. I love my family so much. My siblings, they're all really cool people. So anyway, yeah, so Joe, he's my next oldest brother. He was going through a rough time. He'd been struggling for a few years, and so I don't think though any of us really knew how serious it was, and I like didn't think of like how to like I didn't prepare like what I wanted to say about this. So Joe died of a drug overdose, and you know, I think it was a really big shock to everybody in our family. I don't think that any of us knew that that his addiction had gotten to the level that it did and the methods that it did. And so yeah, his death was a really big shock to everybody, and it, you know, disrupted the whole family. My family's a blended family. My parents divorced and remarried, and so that side was really disrupted. I'm 32, Joe was 36, and I mean, yeah, that's really young and really sucky. Joe was like the sweetest, like kindest, so gentle, so non-judgmental, so supportive of everything everybody did. Like everybody who he was friends with or like knew him as an acquaintance really liked him because he was always so thoughtful, and he just wanted to have discussions with you, and he was so curious. He always wanted to read and learn and like not debate, but like just like discuss like philosophies and what ifs, and you know, he's very questioning and just super smart. So it's a really big loss to not just me and my family, but also to the world. Because of COVID, we weren't able to have a funeral, even though, you know, it was within the first, we were setting up like a family visitation right around the time that the governor declared the stay-at-home order and reduced the amount of people that could be in one space. We just had everybody in our family have the visitation, and then we decided that we wouldn't even try to have like I mean, this was before like everybody started getting comfortable with Zoom, but even before that, we were like, we don't want like a crappy service with not that many people or people feeling left out. We didn't feel comfortable making lists of who could come, and I mean, it wouldn't have been that many anyway, but I mean, it wouldn't even have been able to fit most of our family. We have a big family. So we decided we're going to do a celebration of life for him in June, assuming that the stay-at-home orders and stuff have been lifted and it's safe to do so. But yeah, so I mean, it's been like a month, and we are all keep on keeping on. We've all been really supportive of each other. I also, you know, started some grief counseling because I think that is really important. I really like having people to like talk to and bounce things off of. And I think that therapy with someone who's not close to the situation can be really helpful in a lot of contexts. So I just started that. We haven't actually gotten into any content yet. If you are familiar with therapy, the first like couple sessions basically are like an intake assessment and like a millions of questions situation. So yeah, that was the big tragedy in my family, because it is a tragedy, and it'll probably take quite some time before I feel okay again, and before our family feels okay again. It's a big hole. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's why I haven't been around. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, and even if you do, maybe you didn't see I made a post for him, but if you do want to like see what he looks like and some words that I had about him, you can go on Instagram and find that. Okay, so anyway, on to knitting stuff. I hope it doesn't bother you too much that the sun is now going down, and so like my shade is going away over here. Yeah, in the meantime though, I actually have been doing a lot of knitting. I just remembered I left some very important knitting in the house, so I'm gonna go grab that. Okay, I'm back. So speaking of Joe, who I loved very much, I, didn't really know what to do with myself in that first week, especially after he died. So I, really struggled because I was like, well, I obviously wasn't going to work, and I felt like I should do something, like not like you're not doing anything, you should do something, but like like sitting there crying all day, or and thinking, and like being sad and what ifs and all this kind of stuff, right? Like it's like you start feeling like you gotta do something. And so I thought about when people who I follow have talked about, oh, I was knitting X thing when this person who was close to me passed away, and it made me not want to work on the thing anymore because it reminded me of that dark time in my life. And so I really worried that sorry, my low battery. I really worried that that would happen for me, and so I was like, no, I better not knit anything right now. But there was like this one skein of yarn that actually was sitting on my floor. Like I had opened it, and then I'd taken pictures of it, and I'd set it down, and every time I passed it, I was like, man, I really want to make some socks with that. I really want to make some socks. And it was like, no, I shouldn't. Like, it's mocking me, like why would I use such like happy colors when I'm in such an unfair, horrible place, And then eventually I was like, fine, fine, fine. Socks don't take that long. I will just knit the socks. And then I started knitting them, and I got the cuff on the first one done, and then I was like, oh yeah, I should probably put this project in my Ravelry. Like, what's the yarn called? And the yarn name was called Beyond the Clouds. I wouldn't say like I'm a super like, I can't think of like I don't want to offend anybody in any way. I don't want to like disparage anything, especially as a person who is agnostic and really open to just kind of anything. But it was interesting that was the name. Like, it really struck me as like a very interesting sort of situation. Like that was the name of it, and I didn't remember that before. And so I was like, I don't know, this seems kind of meant to be. That's pretty cool. And it made me feel really empowered to like keep knitting them, and like really just think of how much Joe meant to me, and that there is something beyond the clouds, and there's always some kind of, I mean, we all have to go through these kinds of experiences, and even though it shouldn't have happened to someone so dear and so young, it did, and we need to figure our shit out and keep going forward, because the world's still happening. And so I went and I finished these socks in just a few days because I really wanted to wear them, and this is what they are. They are, this contrast color is actually a skein from Malia made it. It came with the Neon New Year yarn that I got from her. And then I thought it went really well with the rainbow. So it's these micro stripes of rainbows. And I just really like how it turned out on these super pretty socks. So the socks themselves I think are just a little big for me. If I wash them, they'll tighten back up. I always forget how many stitches my feet need, and the problem is that my ankles are really small, and I always do my socks, or most of the time do my socks top down. And so my ankle, because I hate decreasing it to go from like the foot to the ankle, whatever. I don't know why. I'm just like a huge baby about it. So I much prefer the like top down method. But the problem is that my ankles are really skinny, and then like this part gets really stretched when I wear socks, and then it's fine on the foot. So I can never remember how many stitches I'm supposed to cast on to accommodate, and I don't really care. Like sometimes socks are a little big or they're a little tight, and it doesn't, like, as long as they're not like too short this way, like nothing annoys me more than feeling like the top, like your toes are like they can't breathe, you know. But they are totally fine. They're just a little loose, but like super comfy, super warm. Love the yarn, and it definitely really helped me during that first week to have something to do with my hands. So yeah, these are my my grief socks. I also have another couple of finished objects that I was really excited about. The first one is this hat in KnitCircus yarn. So, neighbors across the cul-de-sac. I hope you can like see how good the colors are. So this is a gradient called Leaf Pile Leap by KnitCircus, and the hat pattern came with it. Well, a code for the hat pattern came with it. On KnitCircus's website you can buy kits, and the yarn is just dyed for that kit. So this is a worsted weight yarn, although Leaf Pile Leap comes in all of, like, they have of course their colors in all yarn weights. And so the yarn was made for this one, dyed to order. And as always, my head is super tiny, and so I followed the pattern, but I knew that it was going to be too big, so I made it a little bit slouchier and had the brim. Can't tell if they're watching me or not. So this is the hat. Steve actually took some really cute pictures of me in it when it was snowy. And yeah, it's light and it's soft and squishy and cute, and even though I hated making the pom-pom, like, I love the way pom-poms look, but I hate them because they are so wasteful and so tedious to deal with. And worsted weight yarn, especially worsted weight yarn that won't get super fuzzy, this was like a nightmare to cut up, and I was so worried it wouldn't come out in a gradient. But yeah, this was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy to have like a cute fall themed hat, and it's super rich colors. And like, I really love how like, I don't know if I can show it to you adequately in this light, but yeah, you can, where you have these little bits of like white specks. Like, that's purposeful. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily think like they were like, yeah, this is where I want the white specks, but I believe that KnitCircus has on their website that like the little flecks are part of their dye process, and it's like, that's like their thing. That's like, you know, one of the things that they are known for with their gradients. And I actually like it in the pom-pom, where it's like light at the tips. So yeah, that is that hat. I don't remember the name of it, so I'll put it down below. And yeah, this is good. And I have one more finished object that I am absolutely in love with, like so in love with. I think I've shown it a few times in progress, but I finally finished it. And it is the Duyan shawl by Julia Parlett Carino, otherwise known as Carino Knits. And it is one of my most very favorite projects to date. Like, part of it is the pattern, and part of it is the yarn. As I think I've mentioned a few times, the yarn was or came in a kit from Dear Dreams Yarn Co. And yeah, so I knit up the kit that was suggested, and this is what we ended up with. You guys, like the detail. It's just so good. The picot and edging blocked out really nicely. Yeah, and I really love the edging detail. So I typically wear shawls like this. It's just so soft and squishy, and it's like just elegant and pretty. Yeah, I really like this a lot. It's so good. I highly recommend that you knit it. I put like a thing on my story that I would donate, you know, some patterns if people would want to knit it, because I really want to support Julia, and you should definitely look into Dear Dreams yarns. But yeah, so if you're watching this and you want to knit one of these, it really, like, honestly, like, I don't know, it went by really fast once you got down to it, because it's like a lot of stockinette, and then the flowers go really quickly, and then the lace motif is really simple, and it repeats, and it's just garter, squishy, comforting garter. So if you think you're gonna knit it, like, for real, reach out to me. I will gift you a pattern. The colors of the shawl are Lumpia, and something else. I will include them in the show notes underneath the video. But please enjoy and love and appreciate. Alright, that's it for... I'm pretty sure that's the little dog probably barking at the Rottweiler. Because, you know, little dogs think that they're so dangerous and so big. I am leaning back in my chair, one, because of the sun, but two, mostly because leaning forward in my chair like that was really hard on my back because and look how huge my hand looks because of perspective right now. My hands are actually really small. Leaning back because on account of that was really hurting my back sitting like that. So yeah, that is all of my finished objects. I am going to lower this a little. How about now? Is that better? It's a little better, maybe. It looked kind of weird sitting back, like I'm so casual right now. Yes, enjoy my knee. Yeah, so I do also have several works in progress right now. The first one I want to talk about, but I can't. The biggest, loudest bumblebee just flew up and landed on the door, like so loud. It's so big. I wonder if it's a queen. It's a big boy. Sorry to be annoying. I know, like, it sometimes annoys me when people get off topic like 100 times when they're trying to finish one sentence. So I apologize if I'm annoying you. Outside is just so interesting. the first one I can't show you because I haven't actually started it yet because I haven't got the yarn for it yet. But my friend Courtney just had a birthday at the beginning of April, and I told her that as a birthday gift I would knit her a hat. Because she has a hat that is actually knitted, and I can't remember if she got it from Target or like a place like that. Like it's definitely like a worsted or DK weight yarn, and it's like her favorite slouchy hat, but it's kind of starting to felt after so many years of wearing it. And I was like, hey, why don't you pick out some yarn on KnitCircus's website, and we're getting a beautiful gradient, and I will knit you a hat. And so one night we literally spent like hours going through the yarn on the website, and like it was so funny because the very first yarn was the one that she ended up going with, and we went through like 6 pages of like 50 yarns or something. It was so many yarns, but like we both knew that she was gonna pick the one that she did, and but it was just so fun to talk about them. And like I just really like that my friends are like interested in discussing like yarn stuff, or like asking about my projects, or like, you know, how things are going. And it's just a lot of fun. Like it's just fun to like talk about yarn and like do like heart score stuff. And we call it take it to the spreadsheet. We take it to the spreadsheet and we talk about like, we have like categories and topics and all that kind of thing, and it's so fun. So she did get the yarn, but she hasn't given it to me yet because COVID. But will get it to me, and then I will knit her a hat. I can't remember if we have decided on a pattern or not yet. I know that we were looking at a couple different slouchy hats that are like super popular, but I don't know if she's decided on one yet. Oh, and if you're looking at my nails at any point, don't come at me because it's COVID. Please don't at me about this. I just clipped and filed them because they were a couple of them were starting to come loose, and also they were really long because it had been like literally 50 days since I got my nails done. And I get my nails done to prevent hangnails and jagged edges because of knitting. Like I can't stand when yarn catches on nails because they're rough and jagged, or when hangnails start to form because the yarn like dries out your cuticles. And so getting my nails done with dip dye like prevents that for both. For like, I mean, hangnails a little bit less, but for the most part, yes. And for jagged edges, 100%. But they were just getting way too long, and so I clipped them and I filed them down so they're thinner, and I'm just gonna let them keep growing out because 2 of them fell off on this hand when I was clipping them because they had just gotten loose, and I don't like that because now the nail that is exposed is weak and gross. So I am running out of cell phone battery, so let's see if I can get through the rest of this before my battery runs out. The next thing that I was knitting, or had started knitting before Joe died, is a sweater, my very first cardigan, and it is the Water Bearer by Jacqueline Cieslak. I think, now I can't remember. I think these are supposed to be the shoulders, right? So something like, I don't know, shoulder panels, something. Just making sure I didn't just F myself there. Okay, I did not, because it's like all brioche. So yeah, this is Water Bear, so I think these 2 are supposed to be shoulders or something, and I think this is supposed to be the first front panel. But yeah, so it's like basically all brioche, like the whole thing is basically brioche repeats. And then after Joe died, it's like, you think I can focus on anything that is brioche? Like, not that I don't love brioche, but it requires thought, or at least attention, and that has been difficult. I made some errors not in the brioche, I don't think itself. I've been doing actually, well, there's that 10% battery. I've been doing good on the brioche, but there is a thing in the pattern about, like, it says, like, you know, make one every 6th row or something, and like, to me, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make one? Or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, make one? I don't know. It feels like it makes sense to do it on the 6th row, but or maybe it's every 3rd row. I don't remember. But the point is make one, and then it's on the wrong side that you end up picking it up. Oh, it's a wrap and turn. That's what it is. And so anyway, it's on the wrong side that you end up picking up the wrap and turn. And so, like, I messed up a couple wrap and turns over here. Like, they just end up, they're not resolved appropriately. Oh, here, like this and this. And like, I was not gonna risk undoing all that brioche and then never be able to fix it, like have to rip the whole thing out because I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, you know, this is just supposed to be, as far as I'm aware, like a folded panel, like, or like, you know, like a little foldy bit. And so I don't care, because you're not gonna really see it. And if you do see it, oh well, because look at the rest of it, because it's beautiful. So that doesn't bother me. I just, like, I remember getting to that part and being like, that's weird. How do you resolve the wrap and turn this way? And then, like, the 4th time, I was like, I'm gonna look up how to resolve a wrap and turn on the purl side, or whatever it was. And it's like, yep, that does make sense. Sure does. You know. But otherwise, I love this so far. Love. I am, oh no, what is the yarn? I am knitting it out of, like, I want to say Eco, or it's something from Knitpicks, and it's I don't want to say remnants, but it's like a mixed fiber, and it's really silky and soft. Oh my god, it's so soft, and it has a halo. I mean, like, I'm sure it's gonna get super fuzzy really fast, but like, I don't care. It's gonna be like a cardigan that I wear all over and wherever. And I am super, I love this color. It's just, it's so good. So yeah, I really think that brioche is not as hard as people think it is. I think that, like, maybe it's because, like, the terms seem new, like the brioche knit and brioche purl, but if you really start thinking about them as, like, just every yarn over is part of that stitch, you know, then it becomes so much less complicated. I don't know, like, I really enjoy brioche. I think it's fun, and I think it's really pretty, and I love how stretchy and squishy it is. Like, this is so squishy. I can't with it, because it's so airy. It's so, like, fluff. Yeah, it's so good. I really should pick this back up again. But in the meantime, Water Bear by Jacqueline Cieslak, check it out. Wide range of sizes. I think that I read that I was, like, that my bust differential is big enough that maybe I could add in bust darts, but that sounds really scary, and so I don't know if I will do that. I don't know if it's necessary. I knit really loosely, like really loosely, and so I feel like I generally give myself more room, even though now I'm trying to actually knit things to my upper bust and not my full bust. And so hopefully they will fit better. Like, my Lunar Rising is actually pretty big, and I think I mentioned this last time, but it's because I was measuring to my full bust and not my upper bust, which is much less round. So yeah, hopefully things will start fitting better in the future. Oh, and that is living in my retro video game bag by Utterly Adorable Knits. Love this bag so much. My next one is in, of course, my Follow Your Bliss bag by Nerdbird Makery, also one of my most favorite bags. And she actually just went live with the end result of it tonight, but I participated in a mystery knit along by Tina Say for it's a mystery knit along called the Colorful Keepsake MKAL. Mystery knit along, MKAL. And yeah, so it had 3 clues, and I'm not completely finished with clue 2 yet. I haven't had enough time, but I'm really enjoying it, and I tried to pick colors that were singletons, like that they were single skeins, but also that like maybe I wouldn't normally pair together. So the colors that I put together, my color A is this really bright, I wonder if you can actually see it. Every time I've tried to send pictures to Courtney, they've always been red, but this is like a bright magenta, not red, not a fire truck red, bright magenta, but every picture I've tried to take has blown it out. I swear you can hear that bee in the camera. And then the second color, my color B, is this, oh, I want to say this is a Vogue colorway. Like it had like a month on it, and or like a date, like Vogue Knitting Live 2019 or something. Of course, I'll put it in the show notes. This is a Brazen Stitchery colorway. It has a little bit of sparkle. It's a I can't tell if you can see the sparkle in this or not, but it is definitely like a wide wrapped stellina, and or tencel, and the colorway is mint chocolate chip, I think. And yeah, I was really excited to find a use for it that I'm gonna really enjoy. And the third color is a tonal colorway. So this from KnitCircus, did I say that, KnitCircus? Is definitely a semi-solid. This is the tonal, and I got it during last year's shop hop in Madison and the surrounding areas. The store was Cat and Crow, and the brand, I believe, of this is Four Crows. And you know, when I go to, like, especially because I'm not from the Madison area, and because like there's so many little local shops there, like I think it's like maybe there's an equal number of shops around our like big Twin Cities shop hop, but in Madison there was 14 like shops, and they were little. And so whenever I travel anywhere and I go to a local yarn shop, if they do in-house dyeing, I really want to buy a skein from them, or if there's like a local dyer that they work with, I want to get a skein of that, or both. Like I just really like getting like yarn from a place or event. And so this Four Crows yarn was hand dyed by a woman who worked at the shop, or maybe owned the shop, I don't know. But there were 2 skeins that I was trying to pick from, and I ended up actually I think there was multiple, but I ended up picking 2 skeins. And I can't remember, I think it was this one in particular. She was like, I love it, I was just trying something. The other one was just a one of a kind, and then this is just like a really pretty tonal, and she was so excited about it. And I don't think I was like, I think I was on the fence about it, and I was like, well, now I have to buy it. Like not that she like guilted me in any way, but just like I would feel really bad if I didn't buy it. And I don't think she was trying to make me feel bad on purpose or anything like that. Like I don't think that was a ploy to get me to buy her yarn. I think that she was just really hype, because they had the kind of shop where I feel like the people who probably go there know what kind of yarn they like, and maybe only exclusively buy that, you know. Like it was pretty small, and it had a few like flagship yarns there, and so like maybe their little area of the hand-dyed in-house skeins didn't get a lot of love. But like this is so I don't know if you can see because of the sun, but it has like some really rich varied blues in it, and I really like it. Like I love how it ended up turning out and knitting up. So I'm very glad that I bought it, and I'm glad that I'm using it. So Colorful Keepsake MKAL mystery knit along, actually not make along. Clue 1 started with some garter, then went to some slip stitches, then to some garter stripes, then to some lace, then to some more garter stripes, and then clue 2. So I believe clue 1 ended with this pink stripe, and then clue 2 started with the blue green, maybe not. But it had, I think it was actually this section. Then some more garter. No, that's not true. So I completely lied, you guys. Pretty sure this is all still clue 1. So more of the lace, but now in color C. Then garter, and then clue 2 has these this new slip stitch motif, and then some really adorable lace that like makes little flowers. I feel like I'm not showing that well. There, like down here, you can see the cute little flowers. But when I was watching something, I definitely messed up one of the flowers. Well, it was 2 of them. I fixed it okay, maybe, because actually it was harder for me to spot this time. I messed this one up. It's so hard to pick up a bunch of laces. Yeah, here, it was, well, I fixed that one pretty good, I think, but this one not so much. But it's like on the edge. It's gonna definitely be wrapped up in there. I like thought about whether or not I should rip back, and Corey Eichelberger of I Rock Knits literally in her last podcast said like, you'll never regret ripping back, and I was like, yes I will, because there's lace on every row here, and so if I rip back, then I'm gonna be, and I would be undoing like 1,000 stitches to get to the back of there, or to get back to where I was. And it's like, yeah, I fixed the lace and I fixed it imperfectly, but like, Leah hate ripping back so much for so little. Like if there was a glaring error like in a sweater that I knew I was gonna like always look at, then yeah, I guess I would rip that back. But like in a shawl that's gonna be bunched up around you, and when I'm just such like an effort versus outcome person, and it's like the effort of ripping back and redoing that section is not worth it to me. And I love knitting, but I am definitely a project knitter. Like, I want that finished object and I want to wear it. Like, I want to be as expedient as possible because I want the thing. Clearly I'm not super expedient all the time. I have so many unfinished objects all the time, but I cannot abide ripping back so many stitches for just so little, and like I am not confident enough to do the thing like how Yarn Harlot, Stephanie Pearl McPhee had posted, I think she posted it, yeah, of a student from one of her classes with her crazy pins and like with lace and like redoing it like that. Like, my brain does not work in that way. Like, I ripped out like 6 stitches and I tried to recreate that situation with the lace, but like conceptually, like having to do the decreases and then the yarn overs, for some reason I always end up like slightly off when I'm trying to fix it in lace. It's like I conceptually sort of understand how the yarns wrap around each other, but I always do it slightly off. So I just need to learn how to, I don't know, I need to take like a one-on-one class or something and have someone really like teach me and show me how to fix it. But either way, that's like the only mistake. Everything else is good. I'm happy with it and I want to, excuse me, fix it. And that cough was not due to COVID. I hypochondriacally just kind of always have a dry cough for no reason. Like, I have a tickle in my throat, it's not in my chest. Oh, I know you're not thinking of this anymore, but the blue is called Ocean. It's a really good color and a good color name. Okay, I have one more project that I'm working on, but I can't, it's risky to show you. I'm not gonna show you, but I'm gonna kind of show you. So I'm working on a secret test knit for someone. I'm not even gonna say who it's for because I don't want to accidentally give anything away. Obviously, like, if you were in that person's group on Ravelry, you'd see that there is a call for this test knit and the description and whatnot, but just to be safe, I'm not gonna say who it's for. And I'm gonna show you the inside of the test knit. So it is a sweater t-shirt. I am so excited to knit it. I'm so happy to be part of this person's test group. It's going really well. It's a color work yoke, and then like kind of color sporadically throughout after that. And they used a gradient sock yarn with like a long gradient, and so it ended up looking so beautiful in their sample. And so I had some yarn from Zombie Knit Apocalypse 2019, which sadly 2020 of course is canceled for this year, but I deferred my registration for next year, so I didn't cancel. And this yarn is from 716 Knit, of Buffalo Yarns, I think. Yeah, 716 Knit, and this is a very, very long gradient. Like, these stripes do not give it justice for how long the gradient stripes are. And also, when you look at it, it kind of looks like it's just like a yellow, pink, blue, whatever. I guess now that I'm using it, I can see all the additional colors in it. Like, in my head, it was only 4 colors, but it's actually like all the colors, and it's so good. I am loving how this is working out. I can't remember what this colorway is called. I'll put it on the bottom. I wish those crows would shut up. I hate crows. I hate crows so much. People like crows because they're smart, but I hate crows because they kill live animals in front of my yard. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm not giving anything away here, just so you can see how it's sort of knitting up. So, while in person, I feel like the inside out yarn looks great and isn't giving anything away. I do feel like you can still sort of vaguely see the pattern through the yarn, so I don't know how I feel about showing it. Let me see if I can find a way to not show the pattern. Yeah, no, I think that I don't think that you could figure out what the pattern is, but I just don't feel good about giving away more than what that person wants. So instead, really just satisfy yourself with the fact that there are subtle shades of like purple and lime and teal and just the beautiful shade of blue and like highlighter yellow and highlighter pink. But yeah, sorry, I can't. It would be cool to show you the inside, but I will show you the inside when it is released. The good news is that the test, ooh, someone is grilling. It smells good. That the test is due May 31st, and I am almost done with the color work yoke. And then, I mean, it's a tee, so it'll go by really fast. So the contrast yarn that I'm using for this is Cascade Heritage. This actually isn't so bad now that I'm working with it. Honestly, like on the sweater, both of these yarns are really catchy. I have pulled my needles out of my test knit on a daily basis. Like, I just like leave it in a pile on the couch, and then I sit on the couch, and then it pulls all the needles, or my cat sits on it and I pull it from underneath the cat and the needles fall out. And this yarn is really sturdy. Both of these yarns, they stay together really nicely. Like, I haven't actually really lost more than a couple stitches that I needed to pick back up, and it's always only been 1 row. It's never been more than 1 row. But this was a Cascade Heritage. It's the only true black that I have really discovered in a yarn that is like soft enough, but it can also be kind of itchy. I don't know, but like now it doesn't feel so bad, and I bet when I wash it, it'll get nice. And these look of course really good together. That the black obviously highlights the beautiful rainbows. Anyway, I'm so sorry I can't show you that. I just would totally teased you, but I really don't want to accidentally give the pattern away. So I will show it to you when it is released. Okay, I think that's it for all of the things that I'm actively working on. Like, there's a couple other things that I'm kind of vaguely working on, but I haven't touched in over a month, and so I'm not going to show them because there's not really any point. And I'm also getting hungry. But there are a couple yarns that I wanted to highlight, or a couple things that I have acquired. And the first thing I want to call everyone's attention to is this yarn by Timber Yarns. So this is a sock weight yarn. The color is Plum. I feel like it's showing more red because of the sun, if that helps. I really wanted to call out Timber Yarns. I think I mentioned them before because of the autism colorway. And it comes with this cute little progress keeper. Is because the owner of Timber Yarns is just one person, and her mom had a stroke sometime in the recent past, and now I believe lives with her and her family. And the mom, writes all of the cards. Like, she is employed by Timber Yarns to write thank you cards for everyone who makes a purchase. And like, when if you go to Timber Yarns' Instagram, which is just Timber Yarns, or like Timber Yarn Co. or something like that, like one of the recent posts was about her mom. And it was just like the sweetest story, and I was like, I didn't know that when I bought the yarns. And I remember getting the postcard from the mom, and so like she has beautiful handwriting. She wakes up every day really excited to write a little note to anyone who made a purchase. And I just really think you should go check out some yarns and give her mom someone to write a thank you note to, because it's just so sweet. I just realized I haven't been talking about the yarn content or like the fiber content of any of the yarns today. That's another thing about loss, is like it's so hard to like keep up with, focus on, or remember anything, and it's so strange. Going back to work was so hard because my brain couldn't process or focus, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but it's just like funny to be like, I've just been skipping normal important parts of podcasting. Well, the next yarn I'd like to call out is a yarn I just got today. This is yarn Alive with Purpose. Every skein purchase supports mental health in Minnesota, and it is a Stephen B exclusive called All Hail the Purple One. It's fingering / sock, 60% merino, 20% nylon, 20% stellina. It's 400 yards, and of course it is a purple yarn, no doubt an homage to Prince or the Vikings, or both. I think it was Prince though. It's really sparkly. I don't know if you can see it in the sun, but to me when I'm looking at it, it's so sparkles. Oh yeah, so sparkles. There it is. It's really soft too. Stephen B is a local yarn store, if you didn't know. The next one I want to call out is some yarn from High Fiber Arts. Now, I have been buying a lot of yarn. Oh, I forgot another yarn in the house from High Fiber Arts, but that's okay. I love High Fiber Arts' yarn. I did pre-order their advent calendar for the year because it is Mythical Creatures, and it sounds amazing, and I cannot wait to get it. But they're doing a like buy 2 skeins for $35, I think, or 3 skeins for $50, and it's a mystery yarn, but you can give like hints, or like you know, don't send me these colors or whatever. So in mine I said I wanted bright, spring, happy pastels, anything that is not dark or would bring my mood down, or fall colors or anything like that. And they nailed it on the head. So I got 2 skeins of a tencel sock, which is 50% merino, 50% tencel, 412 yards, and then a matching skein of alpaca sock, which is 60% merino, 20% alpaca, 20% nylon, 437 yards. This color is XOXO. It's cute. It's like a light mauve almost, and it has like some blue speckles. I'm not sure if it was an accident or not. Probably. I don't know. I think it might have been an accident, but I don't mind it. I like it. But it's on this one too, unless they're from the same batch. But oh, and this one is Unicorn Kisses, and it's so pretty. Nope, full sun, no shade. But yeah, they go really well together. Like, could easily be in a shawl together, or part of a sweater. I am in love, like in love with all of High Fiber Arts' yarn. High Fiber Arts with a Z and an ER in fiber. You should really check them out because they make so soft, so beautiful yarns. They're the people who I have been doing the Pokemon yarn club with, and the most recent yarn club I got was Caterpie, and that's been fun. I will include a picture of it, maybe. And the last yarn that I want to show you that I've purchased is this beautiful buttery yarn from Onyx Fiber Arts. It's called Daisy, and it is a beautiful tonal, like yellow and gold. With some like really rich speckles and stuff. And this is 463 yards, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's just so happy. Love it. And last but not least, my grandma's friend had some random yarn, and my grandma asked if I wanted it, so I took some of it. And it included this really cute coral yarn for washcloths of sugar and cream. Yeah, the color's just numbered. Oh, tangerine. This is tangerine. I was really excited. Oh, matches. Wow. So I can get, 2 to 3 washcloths out of this, and I'm really excited. Hey everyone. You will notice that I am no longer outside. My phone died. I did not get a 5% notification, although I knew I was playing with fire. I just didn't want to stop. It looks like, because of the wonders of technology, that my clip actually saved, and it cut out at a really good time, like at the end of one of my sentences, which is pretty cool. I'm out of breath from walking up and down the stairs with all my stuff, I guess. But I just have a couple more things I want to show you. So I was just talking about, sorry if I'm shaking everything here. Oh, yarn that my grandma got from a friend. I can't find the other ball right now. It's probably in a bag of stuff. But I so I had that tangerine yarn, and then I also got this really pretty Noro. This is Tayo sock yarn, 100 grams, 420 meters. It's really pretty blues and purples and grays. I definitely like Noro yarn for weaving. So there was this one, and then there was a Silk Garden. If you're familiar with the Silk Garden, I feel like it's a really popular colorway. But yeah, that was really cool to just get. I feel like this can't be right. This is Tayo Sock 3 blues, and then it says $21.28 each. Is Noro really $21 a skein? Maybe I just don't buy Noro enough. I don't know. See, I don't know where it came from. So that yarn, and then the Silk Garden, and then this strange, really kind of rough, itchy, I feel, I inhaled something. I feel like, or I have the warm function on, like at 8 o'clock, it starts going to the warm setting or whatever for like winding down time, even though I don't go to bed until after midnight. So I can't tell if this is picking up the actual color, but it's like a teal with like blue, gray, purple undertones. And the yarn is Briggs Little Brand Tuffy 2-ply, 80% pure wool, 20% nylon, product of Canada. The colorway is Greystone, and it's located in Harvey, Yorkco, NB. The like 3 Canadian places I know is not NB. My American is showing. My United States person is showing. It's so it's 2-ply, 215 yards, 5mm needles. Anyway, my grandma really liked it. I figured I could use it in weaving or like wash it and see if it softens, because I would never wear this against my skin. But I figured I might as well take it. It was a couple skeins. Try it. Yeah, so that was cool. It's cool to just get these like random yarns. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is not yarn, but over the winter, my friends Ben and Sean went to Disney. They like to go to Disney a few times a year, and they went and they asked if we wanted anything, and I said I really want, like, Sean has some really cute Studio Ghibli dish towels, and I was like, I want one so bad. And then while they were there, they sent me these horrible quality, has been horrible, I think, quality videos. What was horrible about it, well, first of all, like having to send it over the internet, but like really fast, like here's shelf 1, here's shelf 2, like it was obviously very busy. It was just funny, like of figures and whatever, and it's like, let me know if you're interested in anything, and I was like, please, I just dish towel is fine for now. And so in the mail the other day, I got this beautiful Totoro dishcloth, or like tea towel, or whatever you want to call it. Here's the little chibi Totoro and the big Totoro. So that's super cute. Can't wait to put that in my kitchen. I'm really like into like cute towels in the kitchen right now, whether they're functional or not. I do like them. Yeah, so that was all the things I had to show you today. True. Love you. So yeah, that's everything that I wanted to show you. The only other thing is my shirt, which is really cute. Show you my boobs, I guess. But look at this cute little kitty. It's so cute. I don't normally buy like nothing shirts. Like I buy things from like Tea Turtle, or mostly the Yeti. This came from the Yeti, but it's usually like video game themed, or like a specific anime or something, right? Like something in particular. So this just, it's a cute color. I feel like it's coming across like a pure orange, and I guess you can see my sports bra through this. I actually wear this as a swimsuit, so it's not a huge deal, but it's more of a coral than a pure orange. I don't know if that'll come across. Again, I have like the warm tone or whatever on right now anyway. But yeah, I really like it. I was very excited to get it. I guess I have 2 more things to show you. So the first thing is this necklace. I have to take off my glasses in order to take off this necklace. This necklace was a gift that I just got from my aunt. This was the first time she tried metal stamping, and I feel like she did such a good job. So it is, I smeared it. It's an angel wing and a metal stamped J for Joe. I really like it. I think it's really cute, and it was super thoughtful, and I love it. I love it. And so I've been wearing that a lot for obvious reasons. And you see I'm so lazy. I hate unclipping and reclipping things. I just want to be able to slide it on over my head. And then the second necklace that I have is a memorial necklace for Joe. It's close. But anyway, it is actually an urn necklace. Let's see. Yeah. So I just bought it off Etsy after we had decided that we were gonna cremate Joe. I thought it would be, I'm just the kind of person that's the kind of shit I need, right? Like there's definitely a tattoo in the future. It won't be a traditional, you won't, like, until I show you, you won't know at all. Even if you see it, you won't know necessarily. Yeah, like, because then I just, you just take a really small amount of ashes and put them in, and so it's like he's always with me. And there's like a lot of really cool things out there. Apparently it's illegal to send ashes, human ashes, through the mail. It's interesting. No, it's not illegal to send ashes through the mail. Etsy doesn't allow you to solicit or send ashes through the mail, something like that. There was one person that does like glass stones, like necklaces or like worry stones, shapes like that, using just like a little bit of ashes, and like they're glittery, or they can be opaque, or whatever, right? They can be different sizes, but they said like you had to go to their website in order to order it, because Etsy wouldn't allow you to deal with inhuman remains, I guess. The more you know. Yeah, so I think that's like all of my knitting stuff, or my like crafty stuff, and whatnot. It's good to podcast again. I've been thinking about podcasting constantly. It's just really hard. As for life stuff, so for COVID and whatnot, if I'm gonna be all cash, let's don't spill my coffee. Bring this down a bit. I started working from home probably on like the 13th-ish or whatever. Like I'd already kind of worked from home a lot of the time anyway, or like I'd work a few days a week from home and a few days a week at work. It's because it was still winter and there was really no point in being at work all the time, and that was annoying. And yeah, so like transitioning to home wasn't a super big deal for me. But unlike a lot of people who like didn't really know what to do with their time, my job got super busy. Like, I mean, it was already, like a very active, very involved kind of job, but as a technology person at the University of Minnesota, and as a technology person who supports the product that everyone is familiar with now, Zoom, the first couple of weeks involved a scramble for both writing articles for people who were obviously finding holes in our knowledge, as way more people at the university actually started using Zoom, including lots of faculty, and teaching people how to use Zoom. and then also dealing with the first Zoom bombings, you know, it's all that kind of stuff. So my job was extremely busy, very stressful. I also had, really, I had like less than a week to transition my, one of my training courses online for, not for Zoom, but for a different product that I'd been talking about over the last several months, right? You guys, I just presented it live for the first time at the beginning of March, and then, had to transition it to the internet, which is not the same. It's not, you don't just put it online. Like, you have to change up all the class stuff, and like having to do, so it was like I had to deal with losing Joe, and then I had that week off, and we had to deal with you know, making decisions and cleaning out his stuff, and divvying up his stuff, and having the visitation and all that kind of stuff. And then I had to come back and I had to deal with all the Zoom stuff again. And like, my coworkers were great and they like really took over while I was gone, but like I had to come back and I had to figure out what they did, and I had to like, you know, go through it and make sure that it was all appropriate and stuff, and catch up. And then I had to transition this course online, and my brain wasn't working, and it was rough, man. A lot of really late nights, but I ended up getting the course online. It was great. It went really well. Honestly, I think it went much better even than the in-person class. I feel like people being forced to do things over on the computer made the course better, and I feel really good about where it's at, and I'm excited to do it again. I have a meeting tomorrow to discuss videos. I assume that they want me to film putting different sections of it together, which will be really easy. And yeah, so my job has been really busy. However, we were informed that, you know, no one gets pay raises, cost of living raises this year, or performance-based raises, which is really sucky. And there's definitely the talk of layoffs, but like, we don't know what departments, and my department in particular, 2 people just left for different reasons. So I mean, my department, since we're in a hiring freeze, is technically saving money, so I doubt we're doing any additional layoffs for like my group. But that's not to say that my job is secure. So Steve and I have been working really hard on saving. I mean, not saving too much. He still wants some games, and I still want yarn, and I definitely want to be supporting yarn dyers as much as possible during these like difficult times, both local yarn stores and just indie dyers in general. But you know, there's definitely uncertainty there, because it's like, I want to say that our jobs are both really safe. Remember, Steve works at the U as well, are safe just because of like our positioning and stuff, but that nothing's guaranteed. I have also been really hardcore in gardening lately. I do have a flower garden that I upkeep. I think last year was the first year in like 5 years that I didn't actually do anything actively to my garden other than weeding it a couple times. I do have some perennials that I just kind of let overtake the garden last year. I had some bee balm, which is like 3 feet tall right now. Not right now, but I mean last year it was. So I assume it's going to be as tall this year. And some salvia, and then I can't remember what the other one is, but it loves being around the garden. Like, I just remember the one time I weeded last year, I also relocated a bunch of little plants of that one plant into one area because they were like spreading all around the garden. But this year, my grandma, as I helped her move right at the beginning of March, and she and her neighbors all get like these, she lives on the first floor, and so do several of her friends, and they all get to do whatever they want with their little patches of dirt and grass around their patios. And everyone like wanted to get rid of these hostas and their daylilies, and I had read that hostas need to be in partial to full shade, and my house, my garden, my garden is like right in the center, so it's like full sun all the time. And then what I really want is hostas to, or something like hostas to line the sidewalk up to my house where I was sitting. And that part of the house faces north. And so it gets a lot of sun. Yeah, it gets a lot of sun, and like so much sun that we have like a pine sort of juniper bushy thing in part of that rock bed, and it gets burned during the summer because it's so sunny all the time. And so I never bought hostas, and I also have no clue about digging out the hideous bushes that are in front of the yard. Like, they get little yellow blooms like late in the summer, and those are cute, I guess, but they're like scraggly, ugly. They're like hedge bushes. Hate them. I hate them. I want green, like bright, happy, leafy green. So anyway, they wanted to get rid of these hostas, and my grandma was like, psst, psst, I always put hostas in the sun, whatever. And so I was like, and she is like, I never heard that. And so I was like, okay, I mean, she's the gardener. So I dug up several hostas for these ladies, and some daylilies. I planted the daylilies in my garden, some of them. And then I put a couple in pots. And then since I had to go buy tools at Menards, I was like, I'm gonna look at the other plants. And so I ended up buying a salad bowl, which is great. I'm so excited for a summer of salads. The problem is they don't grow fast enough for me to eat a giant salad every day. What I really need is raised beds, but I don't know how to do that. And it's COVID, so I can't have my family over to build me some beds. But yeah, so I bought some annuals, a couple more perennials. I bought some chives and some strawberries. I'm really excited about strawberries. But I don't want to put them in the ground because the rabbits and the deer will eat them. So I've been keeping them in pots, which the strawberries I know it will not do. But they're starting to grow. The hostas are still just hanging out because, okay, so you guys, I looked into like how to dig up bushes that are like established, and it's like, it looks like hard work, but like so that I could do it. So I started digging. So our entire front area is just rocks, just that huge heavy layer of rock, right? And so I started digging it up to figure out like how deep it goes. It is pretty deep, you guys. But I did dig out one of the bushes, so it's possible, like not the bush, but like the area, the rock area around the bush. And I've just been relocating the rock to the backyard because it's like really, like it's thin, the rocks there have thinned out a lot, to the point where like you can see the foundation. So I have just started moving them to the back because there's plenty, like we have three entire sides of my house are rock. So if I just get rid of the stuff on the front and have it be dirt, then I could plant more stuff there. And then, yeah, the hostas, like, they have seriously been in bags for like 2 weeks, like just paper bags. And I water them every night. And they're starting to freaking sprout. So I gotta get a move on. But yeah, rock is heavy. Working for 45 minutes on putting rocks in a wheelbarrow and then taking the wheelbarrow to the back of the yard and dumping them out and bringing it back it's intense. It's a lot. But I'm doing it, and it's like a good workout, but man, my arms and my back both get so tired. And honestly, my hand takes the brunt of the work. I do not know how to lift a shovel without making yourself a blister, or like threatening to give yourself a blister. But yeah, I'm just like really hype about gardening and making our front area look not ugly and scraggly. And there's like this bush that was supposed to be, I think, some sort of like big privacy bush, and it had beautiful blooms and stuff, but a tree started growing out of the center of them and killed it. And now it's, well, or at least killed most of it. And so now it's just like this hideous, like 3 random branches that grow really tall, and that's about it. So like that needs to come out too, and that's part of that like sidewalk area. It's just like around the edge, so it's a lot of rock for me to move, but I'm gonna do it. So yeah, that's like the major house thing that we're doing. right now is I'm digging that stuff out, and Steve's gonna clean out the fire pit tomorrow because we have like a you know, like a bonfire area, but we've only ever had like one bonfire ever at it. We should definitely have more, and it's really easy to maintain. So that's that. We're still just doing work stuff. Steve's working late a lot. He's working really hard, and yeah, we're just trucking along. Last weekend we helped my aunt move we helped her move to like a much better area. It's such a nice area, like in terms of like cute, quaint neighborhoodness and a view of a lake. I mean, there's literally many thousands of lakes in Minnesota, but yeah, it's like literally just look out from her yard and see the lake. It's so cool. But like, yeah, there's just lots of grassy areas nearby to walk, and it's just like everyone seems so friendly. Like, that's not to say people maybe in my neighborhood aren't friendly, but I feel like they're like more of the old-fashioned, like kind of stick to themselves. Everybody just kind of does their own thing. Like, people say hi to you sometimes on a walk, but like you don't know where they're from. Like, it's more just, I don't know what it is. Like, it doesn't feel friendly. It feels like obligation, like that they just have to say hi, and we always just say hi back. Like, we never say hi first, but it's like if you make eye contact, then someone needs to say hi, I guess. But it's not like anyone's close enough anyway, like super close. But anyway, yeah, so we were like talking like, oh my god, well okay, I really need to backtrack here and say, we are not the kind of people who are excited to know our neighbors. Like, I'm not saying I want to become super friendly with my neighbors, but I would like to know that, you know, let's say a tree falls on your house in 2015, spoilers happened to us, and instead of being like really warm and concerned for us, your neighbors yell at you because they're mad that they couldn't get a hold of you in some way. I would really like neighbors that don't act like scared, angry parents when a tree falls on your house, and instead is comforting and kind. I don't know who that happened to. It wasn't us. It was us. But anyway, like the neighborhood that it was in, it was just like a lot of green space. Like you could, like, you know, it was those things where it had like lanes of cars, and then in between there was like a huge wide, like it wasn't even a median, like literally like a road width of separation, and then another narrow road, and then, you know, like that stuff is like really cool because then you can just like chill and not have to be near anybody. Like the thing about over here is like there's a lot of like paths and stuff, but there's always someone there. There's always someone there. People are everywhere, and I'm happy people are getting outside, but I want them to get outside away from me so that I can have my own space. And yes, I could go to my own yard, and that is also fine. But it would be nice sometimes to be able to just like chill on this grassy area that is well kept and not at all destroyed by moles or gophers or whatever burrows around and lumps up your yard. Yeah. So we've also been playing a lot of Hearthstone, not constructed, if you know, like the main game. We've been playing a lot of Battlegrounds, which is just like, it's 8 players and you get to pick from specific heroes who have different perks, and then you try to construct a deck based upon random choices from a pool of choices that everybody gets. I know this will mean nothing to a lot of people, but to maybe some people it might mean something. And you can play with others that you know, so you just need a person to invite you. And so Steve and I play for a couple hours a day. Like, we usually play over lunch. We'll play a game, so it's like a half hour or you know, 20 minutes to a half hour. And then at night I've been knitting, and then also we play some Battlegrounds, and that's been really cool. It's like just like a fun, no stress, like, I shouldn't say no stress, but you know, mostly no stress, just like cute thing to do. We've also been watching through some Adventure Time. Adventure Time has been really comforting to me during this time. It's like a really deep, like right in my heart, emotional, like, I don't know. It's like people don't understand like cartoons like Adventure Time and Avatar: The Last Airbender, like how deep shows can get and like how they like really capture the human experience in a way that's just different from live action. And I feel that way about a lot of anime too, especially Japan, because they explore a lot of human issues that I just think that that the United States just doesn't do, especially in cartoons. And so yeah, it's been really good to watch Adventure Time and get to experience emotions. We've also been watching a lot of Superstore, or a decent amount of it. Old staples like King of the Hill and you know, fall asleep Parks and Rec or The Office. But I mean, we don't usually sit and watch stuff. Like we'll do stuff, like we haven't finished Adventure Time, so like when we're watching episodes you kind of have to pay attention, you know. But like I'm usually knitting and he's usually like playing a game of some sort, like a handheld or mobile game or something at the same time. Like we're not just sitting in front of the TV. We've been going on a lot of walks. We've been playing this really fun game of Let's Eat What We Have, right? It's fun, but also kind of necessary, right? So we've been, I've just been super creative with like what we have, and it's been really nice because it's like, well, this is what we have, we're not going shopping, so what am I gonna make? And I get imperfect produce every week. And it's not just produce, like I can also get eggs and cheese and some snacky things, sometimes hummus, sometimes creamer for a coffee. I definitely get coffee from them every week. I love their coffee. What else? Broths, you know, like pantry staples you can get. Like I ran out of olive oil the other week, and so I got more. So that's been really nice. Like I get it delivered so I don't have to worry about it. Like the only thing Steve really ever has to leave for is cat litter and cat food. And occasionally if we run out of like a staple, but like not super often. And it's been really cool to just sort of use whatever we have. I make a lot of really interesting substitutions, and we still get to get a lot of really fresh foods, and I really like that. Like we're not just eating junk. We're eating out so much less. Like when I said saving money, we were spending a lot of money on eating out. Working at a big campus with lots of food options, which are good, like Vietnamese and punch pizza, and there's, you know, an African deli. There's like various yummy like Asian, one of them was Japanese, another one was Chinese, several different Japanese places, a Korean place, so many good food options. It's hard to turn it down when you're like feeling lazy or you don't have enough time or you forget your lunch at home. So anyway, we were doing a lot where we would spend money eating out at lunch, and then we'd get home really late because we've been having stressful jobs, and then we'd be like, don't want to cook. And so not only were we spending a lot of money on food in general, we were spending a lot of money on like door dashing food, especially during the winter when neither of us wanted to drive. It was snowy and cold and icy, and so we're saving like a lot of money just not eating out. So yeah, I think that's about it. I just feel like I wanted to update you on my life. I've been sporadic on Instagram. I don't really use Facebook at all. Some people I have talked to a lot more. I've had some really cute fun like on like FaceTime or Instagram FaceTime, whatever that's called, Instagram call. My friend Courtney and I have hung out that way. I did do a virtual knit night with Lisa Ross of Paper Daisy Creations, and that was pretty cool. It had way too many people. I think I'm gonna reach out to her and ask if she wants to like set up some sort of survey to help break up people into breakout rooms, because that would go way better so that you could actually have a conversation and hopefully talk about knitting and not COVID, because we all get so much COVID talk all the time. We're all in it, we're all experiencing it. I feel like we get enough of it, and I just like want to talk about the things that are getting us through, like knitting. So I did see that people were commenting on my last couple videos. I love comments and I love having conversations. It's just been a really hard time, and I hope you understand. I really appreciate anyone coming to watch again. New viewers, happy to have you. Yeah, returning viewers, really appreciate you. So I love the support that I get. Please add me on Instagram. You know, talk to me anytime. I haven't been upkeeping the group at all, as I say every week. I just haven't had time, and I forget about the group stuff. I barely, like, I only ever signed into Ravelry to download patterns on using Knit Companion, and so it's like barely, and to like update projects, and so like even the groups that I want to be active in, I forget constantly. Like, it's so hard for me to remember. But please keep commenting. If you really, really don't want to comment because you don't think I'll respond and you want me to respond, find me on Instagram and message me. I will check it. My Instagram is not that busy. Yeah, so I hope that you are doing well. I wish everybody health and, you know, solidarity, and we'll get through this. And I hope to see you again much sooner than a month from now.